Hey everyone, I am back. It is a beautiful and glorious Good Friday, almost afternoon. If you haven't been outside yet, I highly recommend it. It is absolutely beautiful. Before we do that, today I wanted to talk about the number one thing that I hear most often is if I had healthier recipes, I could be successful in losing weight. Okay, recipes, yes, they have their place and they are great to have. Okay, but they are not exactly necessary in order to reach your goals. Okay, you don't need them. The idea of overcomplicating your health journey by finding these recipes that you are not familiar with can actually cause us to become overwhelmed and get frustrated with how much time it takes to cook things we're not familiar with, buying foods we're not familiar with. Those things can actually overwhelm us and cause us to give up on our health journey. Okay, it isn't necessary. You can actually take meals that you already have and you just adjust the portion sizing on each element and you can still lose weight. This is beneficial because this is food you and your family are familiar with. You're not going to have to deal with kids rebelling against the food. Okay, this is also beneficial because you know how to cook it. Okay, you are familiar with this, you know what you're doing, you don't need a recipe. So this is going to save you time, not only cooking, but also grocery shopping. Okay. Now, later on, adding in other things is not a bad idea. That's a great idea. Okay. Highly recommend trying new things as you go. But I don't recommend getting 6 or 7 recipes to try for the first time on the first week of your health journey. That's just going to lead to being overwhelmed and cause you to give up. Okay, so we're going to keep it simple when we first start. I highly recommend picking your family's top 5 favorite meals. I don't care what they are. If they are hamburgers, spaghetti, some sort of casserole, whatever it is, pick those. Okay, and then we're going to break that down into its elements. Okay, we're going to break that down into protein. We're going to look at the protein. Most of the time when we're looking at a recipe or something we typically make, we just need to increase the amount of protein and decrease the amount of carbs in that recipe. Okay, so for example, we're going to look at spaghetti. Okay, that is a easy family staple in most homes. Okay, so let's look at spaghetti. Typically, when we make spaghetti, we put a little bit of meat in the sauce, and our plate is an entire plate of noodles with some sauce and some little bit of meat sprinkled on top. Okay, we're just going to take that same meal and we are going to revise it to fit our needs. Okay, now typically for say a typical female needs about 1 to 2 servings of protein for every meal. And the way we do servings is rather than making you weigh it or measure it or count it, whatever, just take your hand. Okay, a palm size, that is your serving of protein. That's 1 serving. So you're going to need 1 or 2 of those for your meal. So we're going to increase the amount of protein on your spaghetti. Either you can ground that up and increase the amount that you put in the sauce, or you can make meatballs and increase the amount of meatballs that you put on your plate. Okay. Now, let's look at the veggies. Okay. The sauce, yes, is a veggie, but typically you need 2 servings or a fist-sized serving of veggies for your meal. Okay, you're probably not going to get 2 fist-sized portions of tomato sauce on your spaghetti. Okay, so I highly recommend adding a veggie to that. Okay, so we have maybe 1 serving of our sauce and then maybe have a side salad or a side oven roasted veggie or whatever it may be on the side. Same family traditional meal of spaghetti. We are just adding the element of an extra vegetable. Okay, now the carbs. Okay, for a woman, typically you need 1 to 2 cupped handfuls of carbs. Now, when I say cupped, I mean like a level cupped. Okay, now you need 1 to 2 of those for you to reach your goals. Typically, our spaghetti plate is filled, so we're probably looking at 5 or 6 cupped handfuls of carbs on that plate. So we're going to reduce that. So we're going to have maybe a quarter of our plate be the meatballs. Okay, we're going to have a quarter of our plate be the spaghetti noodles. Okay, and then we're going to have some sauce on there, maybe put some sauce on the meatballs as well. and then have half of our plate veggies. Okay, so maybe a nice salad, or I don't know, oven roasted asparagus, whatever veggie you like. Don't make veggies you don't like. Okay, it's not gonna work. But pick a veggie you like and add that to your plate. Okay. And then the fats, that's going to be probably your cooking oil that was in the meatballs. Okay. So whatever you're using there, that's going to be your fats. So we get the same traditional family friendly meal. It is just tweaked a little bit to fit our needs and our goals. But the family is happy because they like this meal. You are happy because you know how to cook this meal. And you didn't have to spend your time scrolling through Pinterest, finding all the recipes, and then trying to find the groceries for these recipes because you're not used to buying those, and trying to make that after a long day of work and you have kids screaming at you because they're hungry. Okay. So highly recommend when you first start your health journey, keep it simple. Find meals you already eat, enjoy, and know how to make, and then just tweak the portion sizes, and you will still reach your goals by having spaghetti and meatballs. Okay, so that is it for today. Don't overwhelm yourselves. Keep it simple so you can reach your goals and you can be consistent rather than getting overwhelmed and giving up. All right, guys, you have a great and wonderful Easter weekend. Bye.